The number one tip to grow your business and attract new customers is to look at what other successful businesses are doing, and then learn from, model, and apply what they're doing into your own business. After all, success leaves clues, and it's very likely that if a certain strategy or tactic or principle worked for another business, then it could very well work for you too. That's why in this video, I'm going to give you the secrets and strategies behind the world's top entrepreneurs and best business owners. The kinds of things that are responsible for helping them grow their businesses and attract all of the customers they could ever want, so you can learn from and then copy what they're doing to give yourself and your business the highest likelihood of success possible. So let me show you how it's done. And it all starts with this important question. Why is it that some entrepreneurs just always seem to win? As if they've been gifted with some kind of magical business success gene that allows them to build massive business empires and make a fortune, and sometimes even build companies that change the world. Well, here's the good news. There is no business gene, no specific business trait that anyone is born with. In fact, because business is made up of so many different areas, the more likely answer is that the best entrepreneurs and the best business owners, well, they seem to possess a varied and diverse set of clearly very valuable skills. I mean, sure, they may have a specific skill set or a certain aptitude for a certain kind of business in a certain kind of industry, but the world of business is full of different case studies and success stories from all kinds of different people with all kinds of different backgrounds, all kinds of different skills and talents and makeups and histories and all of that stuff. So clearly, while there are a number of differences between all of us, well, there's also some underlying principles that the most successful businesses seem to embody, and typically through the personalities and the beliefs and the identities of the business owners and the entrepreneurs. So with that said, let's dive into the first reason that some entrepreneurs, some business owners just always seem to win, which is that they have a strategy-first mentality. One of the single most important elements to growing your business and to attracting new customers really comes down to being strategic and having a strategy-first mentality, which means making sure you're doing the right things in the right place for the right people, rather than chasing shiny objects or new tactics or new hacks or trying to beat the algorithms. Essentially, what you need to do before anything else is really map out a plan, map out a strategy, map out the end goal that you want to get to, and then all of the steps you're going to need to take along the way. And this will ensure that you don't start going down some crazy or completely ineffective paths that are more likely to lead you in the wrong direction rather than to where you actually want to go. There's a great quote attributed to Abraham Lincoln that says, "If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 6 sharpening my axe." Well, when it comes to business, creating a strategy, mapping out a plan, this is equivalent to sharpening the axe, and it makes sure that everything else you do is going to be that much more effective and efficient. After all, as Peter Drucker says, there is nothing so useless as doing something well that shouldn't have been done at all. So yes, while the best entrepreneurs, the best business owners do take action, and they do have a bias towards action, which means they're always going out there and they're doing things, well, this typically comes after a little bit of thinking and a little bit of strategy gets put in place. Strategy is the entire reason that I created the Modern Marketing Plan, which goes over the 5 key elements of designing an effective marketing strategy, including your model, your market, your message, your media, and your machine. And I'll put more details on that in the description below this video if you want to check it out. All right, the next thing that all successful business owners and entrepreneurs know when it comes to growing their business and attracting new customers is that they need to be customer-centric. Essentially what this means is building their entire business, their entire marketing strategy, their entire everything, their existence, the reason that they live, the reason that they serve around their customers. Everything they do takes into consideration their customers' wants, their customers' needs, their customers' desires, as well as all of the problems and the pains and the frustrations that they're trying to solve for their customers. It's funny how we all know this, right? We know that customers are the lifeblood of a business, because without customers, well, there's not really a business. And yet you'd be amazed at how many times I see people come to me that often have what I like to call selfish marketing campaigns. Not because the business owners or the entrepreneurs are selfish, but rather because the message that's being portrayed across the marketing is really all about the business and pretty much nothing about the customer. The best entrepreneurs know that the customer isn't an afterthought. The customer is the only thought, and they spend a lot of time thinking about them. Of course, providing a customer-first experience and saying that you provide great customer service, well, it doesn't set you apart from the crowd. I mean, pretty much everybody says that they do. Whether they do or not is a different story. But the best entrepreneurs and business owners also know that in order to succeed and to grow their business, they need to find their unique competitive advantages. You see, when it comes to building a massive business empire, or even a moderately sized business empire, even a small business empire, even just a small business actually, well, it all comes down to finding your own specific and unique place in the market. After all, you can't serve everyone, not to mention you shouldn't even want to, because most people out there are probably not the best fit for you or your business. But you can find a smaller segment of people that you could really help and really serve, provide them some amazing value, and have them coming back and telling everyone they know about just how great you are. And the only way to do this is to find some area, some kind of competitive advantage, some unique selling proposition, or USP as it's commonly called. The other term for it here in marketing is known as differentiation, which is how are you different than your competition? Now, this is such an incredibly important aspect that I do want to spend just a couple seconds here really drilling down just why you need to find that unique area, that hook, that angle, that irresistible offer, that way that sets you apart from the sea of competition surrounding you. Here's the deal. When most customers go to do business with any kind of business, whether it's a product or a service or anything like that, well, they try to make very quick comparisons and very quick decisions between, say, company A and company B. To the customer on the outside, company A and company B probably don't look a whole lot different. I mean, they're both going to say that they provide exceptional customer service, they stand by their product, they have a long history of glowing customer testimonials, and they love their people, they love what they do, and they're trying to make the world a better place. They may even use words like we're faster or better or whatever. But to the customer, this all sounds the same. And when the customer can't decide between company A and company B based on all of the other factors, well, they're forced to go to the one thing that they know, which is price. This means in order to be competitive, company A and company B are going to continually try to slash their prices, taking it down another step and down another step and down another step in this lose-lose race to the bottom, which whoever gets there first loses. Bit of a side note, whoever gets there second loses, because being the world's second cheapest is the worst competitive advantage of all. Well, the solution to this, the antidote to this, is to be different in a way that actually matters to your customers. And the only way to really get to the root of this is to do some deep dive research into your customers, what they want, what they need, what they find valuable, and also the things that they just don't care about that you could probably safely ignore. Of course, avoiding the temptation to get into a price war or to just continually slash your prices, offer discounts, or give stuff away for free is going to be tough, and it's going to require the use of this next important fundamental that you definitely need to deploy in your business. And that is, if you want to grow your business, you want to attract more customers, not just now, but also in the long term, you need to take advantage of long-term thinking. When it comes to succeeding in business, when it comes to building a truly profitable and enjoyable business that makes a difference in your life as well as the lives of your customers, you need to always be thinking long-term. And often this means being willing to sacrifice some short-term cash flow hits by slashing your prices or offering discounts or doing too many 2-for-1 sales or giving things away for free in favor of building a more sustainable and long-lasting business. And that's hard. I appreciate that. But as anybody that's been involved in marketing for any length of time will tell you, it's very easy to make a sale at least once just by slashing your prices and basically giving stuff away for free. But it's also the fastest path to absolutely destroying your business. First of all, it doesn't take a math genius to understand that by continually charging less and less and less and destroying your margins completely, well, something's gonna have to give eventually. And by eventually, I mean probably very soon. The second thing is that the less profitable you are, the more you're gonna have to cut costs and cut services and cut other things that your customers may actually really like. And another element still is that by continually cutting your costs, offering too many discounts or promotions or anything like that, you're essentially training your market that what you're offering, well, really wasn't worth it in the first place. And there's no reason to buy now, they'll just wait for a sale. This is why it's important to never let short-term thinking cloud your judgment. Always be thinking long-term, 1 year, 5 years, maybe even 10 years down the road about what kind of business you want to build, what kind of life you want to have for yourself, for your employees, for your customers. All right, the next tip, if you want to attract more customers and grow your business by looking at what the best businesses in the world are doing, is by understanding that the world's best businesses really take a marketing-first approach. Now, here's what I mean by a marketing-first approach. I'm not talking about advertising or just spraying the world with all kinds of different messages and offers and things like that. Rather, what I'm talking about is baking their message, baking their offers, baking all of their attitudes and identities and everything that they do into all of their messages, into all of their media, and being consistent with it day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. There are a number of incredibly important psychological factors that happen through the use of consistent marketing messages and really putting a priority on making sure that you're delivering those across all of the available channels. The first of which is something known as the mere exposure effect. And this is the psychological phenomenon where just by seeing something more often, we start to like it more, we start to trust it more, and we start to accept that, hey, this is probably a really good thing. The next thing is that the messages that you deliver, the marketing that you create, well, it's not just a one-time thing. Rather, these assets that you create, they compound over time, essentially becoming more and more valuable as you start to build up these marketing assets in your business's library. For example, by putting the time and the money and the energy up front into, say, creating a video, well, not only can this video be seen for months and possibly even years to come, but can also be spliced and diced. You can rip away the audio. Now you have a podcast. You can transcribe the audio. Now you have text for either a blog or for any social media posts. And you could use the help of a graphic designer or do it yourself to turn some of your best points and your best quotes into different social media images or graphics. The really important thing to remember here, though, is that marketing is all about communicating value to your customers. And the main thing here is the communication part. Just like we can't expect people to know that we exist just by, I don't know, luck alone, well, the same thing goes when we can't just expect customers to know what we do or how we can help them. That's our responsibility to educate them, to inform them, and to help them before money has ever changed hands. Now, there are a number of ways to do this, but by far one of the most effective and cost-effective ways is through the use of digital marketing channels. And this is why the next thing you're going to want to do is check out the video I have linked up right here on digital marketing. So make sure to check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, the next thing that'll really help you become a better digital marketer is to understand the differences between strategy and tactics and when to use them. Strategy is all the big picture stuff, and this is really where you want to focus your efforts.